evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Real Talk with Deborah and Anastasia. Hi, Anastasia.
Hey, Miss Deborah, how are you?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great and loving this on and off rain that we have going on over here, but it's still beautiful.
That's good. Yes. Good evening, Dan. Hi, son. How are you doing? Kendrick, glad to see you on here today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We want to thank you for all of your prayers, for your likes, shares, and comments. Keep them coming. We love to have them. And thank you for tuning in today for this real talk. So, this month we have been talking about resources, and no matter what you're doing in life, where you are, there are different things, different aspects that are going on. We're all differences. Our differences include how we learn, how we teach, how we recall information. We have different learning abilities. Yet, no matter if we have a low IQ or extremely high IQ, we can always learn from others, always. So allowing your ego to get in the way and make you feel that you know it all, no one can tell you anything is unwise. You are not using the one thing you should have or want to have, and that's wisdom. Because no one knows everything. Everyone can learn. There are teachers all around you. And when I say teachers, I don't mean just educators, but people that have expertise that can teach you different things. An individual may even be assigned to assist you, but if you give the impression that you don't need any help, you got it all, you may miss an opportunity. What do you think, Anastasia?
That is so true. In life, we are not sure where our opportunities are going to come from and who are the people that are going to be the ones that give us that lesson that's going to change the trajectory of our lives. And so, with us learning from others, the first step would be being open to that knowledge, wherever it may be coming from and whatever direction it's going to take you. And also, it's important for us to discuss how people from different roles can teach you vital knowledge. And so, one of those areas, those arenas that we expect to learn from are tutors and educators. Now, usually from a tutor or an educator, you're going to learn about possibly science, math, English. You're expecting to learn things that are taught in the classroom. And the tutor is going to assist you in those weak areas, but still along the lines of things that would be taught in a classroom. Whether you're having issues with physics, you're having issues with reading, sometimes you just need to improve your study habits. But there are things that educators can teach you that you may not be thinking of initially. Maybe things like time management. Educators and tutors have to know lots and lots about time management. They have schedules that they have to follow every day. They have exams, placement exams, national exams that have to be done at certain points throughout the year. And so they have to prepare you for them. And there are lots of other things that require such a crucial timeline that educators and by extension your tutors are the ones that had to have mastered these things and mastered this element in order to be able to be successful at their job. They've also had to learn organizational skills. Have you ever had to walk into somebody's office and seen that there are just a whole lot of papers all over the place?
Yes.
You're not impressed by that. That's not what you want to see. That's not what you don't want to walk into your doctor's office and see all sorts of papers all over the place because it's going to give you a bad impression of them. And so that's one of the things that educators and tutors have had to master also, being organized, knowing where things go, where how to separate and categorize things. They have their different sub. All of that is needed and necessary as an educator. They also can teach you communication building. They have to speak to 15, 18, 20, however many different personalities on a at least 5 days out of the week. Doesn't that sound hard? Can you imagine having to deal with 12, 15, 18 different personalities, individuals, and you're going to have to speak to them in a way that they understand. You're going to have to receive the information that they're giving to you in a way that you understand and that you can respond effectively. And both of you are going to have to be on the same page. That's a lot. But it is a skill that is acquired by educators, and it has to be executed on a very, very regular basis. And not only are they learning those communication building skills when it comes to their students, but also when it comes to the students' parents, because that's a whole other arena of communication that needs to happen and needs to be handled very skillfully and tactfully. You cannot approach the delicate situation of somebody's child in the wrong way. And so communication building, that's an awesome skill that an educator would be able to assist you with if you're having difficulty there. And my last two would be self-control and problem solving. Now, for me, these two go hand in hand. When you're faced with a problem, you're going to have to learn how to control yourself in order to be able to get through it. And so that problem solving can be in the arena of um, a kid getting injured. It could be in the arena of a fight that's broken out in your classroom. It could be in the arena of just a stubborn student that is absolutely adamant that they are not listening to you today. That is a problem. In order for you to be able to deal with that problem and manage it properly, you have to exercise self-control first. You have to manage your own thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and then you'll be able to calmly, keyword, calmly and rationally deal with the problem and deal with the situation. And this is something that educators have had to learn through experience because it cannot be taught in the classroom, but it is a skill that is learned through time, through experience, and is something that educators are able to give great guidance on. And so, just to recap a little, we talked about time management, organizational skills, communication building, self control, and problem solving. Those are some of the things that you can look to your educators / tutors to assist you with if you need help in that area.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great evening, Agnes, Shonda. We are talking about learning from others. We can all learn from others no matter what our walk in life. And so I will be talking about mentors and coaches, mentors and coachings. Good evening, Deacon Holmes. So when we talk about mentors, we are talking about more a relationship focus working together, because some people get the two mixed up, but with a mentor it's more relationship focused than a coach is. And your mentor provides principles, they provide wisdom and other skills that they may see that you need. Now, when you have this mentor mentee relationship, it's normally long term, unless it's something that is a part of a corporate initiative that they have going, then they'll place people together usually for a year. But if you ask someone, hey, I would like to be in the military. I see that, you retired from the military. What can you help me with? And they take you on and they begin to mentor you. Then that could go well on for years and years and years, maybe, for the rest of your life. And they will be there to give you feedback often and as they see that you need it. So you don't have to kind of like wait for a scheduled time to discuss something. So it's more of an ongoing. So that mentor might be able to help you with a certain job. Like I said, it might be the military. You may see uh, someone at church and they were up speaking and they mentioned that they work at NASA and you were interested in space travel or engineering and what makes these space capsules uh, project the way they do. And you may say hey, so begin to ask this person questions, and you end up they begin to say, well, hey, if you're interested, I don't mind working with you and being your mentor. And you might approach them for that particular thing because they work at NASA, but then you may be come from a single parent home. They may notice that you're not privy to knowing what you need to do to prepare for college. So then they may begin to tell you other things. So that's why I say, it's ongoing, and they may, teach you a lot of different things. And those type relationships can work really well. When I was working in corporate America, I had a young man that came in my department, and I was not his like really assigned mentee, but I saw he was really shy, laid back, an introvert, but I saw what he had in him and I kind of worked with him, and we still have a relationship today. I can still talk with him if he got a question about something that's going on, he'll contact me. So that's a mentor mentee is a great relationship where you can learn from someone else. But that can be something professional. It can be come from someone that's an entrepreneur, a family friend, a neighbor, anyone from any walk of life, because you never feel like, hey, I'm here, so somebody's got to be way up here to teach me something, because that's not true. I work in children's ministry. I learn from the kids. They can get real deep sometimes. So you can learn from anyone. Now, our coaches, they are more kind of, you know, specific, a lot of them, because you have different types of coaches. So you can have a life coach, you can have a financial coach, you can have a marriage coach. You have different types of coaches that'll help you with your health, whatever. So then they will normally find out what is your short-term goal and help you to achieve that. And they'll tell you, hey, you need to do this, don't do that. I would suggest this. They will give you, say you go and you want to be a speaker, but you always saying and so what had happened was and so even though, so when you tell them that, they may not be able to work on that particular thing, but they'll say, hey, have you ever thought about Toastmasters will really help you with that. Not only will it help you with those filler words, but it will help you uh, uh, formulate your speeches, talk to different type crowds, know what to say to different type crowds. They have leadership paths and all of this, but I think that's really something that you should take up. So both of those are very, very good about giving you that information or those resources that you need.
I love that you mentioned Toastmasters. That's a thing for me.
Yes.
Shameless plug, but it is a great program. And along with, those persons that are mentors and coaches, we can also think about entrepreneurs and people with expertise. So they would be like skillsmen, you know? So when you think of an entrepreneur or a skillsman, a skilled person, you're thinking usually more along the lines of like technical skills. You're thinking of that person who owns their business in carpentry and plumbing and electrical installation or roofing, or they may own their own makeup business, or they may own their own clothing store, or they may own their own catering business. You know, those types of people. Yes, you can go to them specifically about their business if it's something that you want to do. You know, you want to become a chef, then, or you are in culinary school and you're looking to start your own business catering, then yeah, you're going to go to a catering company and you're going to talk to the person in charge and you're going to want to know, you know, how did you start and get their story and all the rest of that. But in the midst of you getting their story and finding out about their business from the skills aspect of it, there's other things that they can teach you about also, which would be things like financial management. No successful business survives much longer than 6 months without financial management. This is learning how to pay your bills, learning how to pay your staff, learning how to make sure that you have the supplies on hand that you will need in order for you to be able to run your business successfully. Also, learning how to pay yourself. A lot of times, business owners are so concerned with keeping everyone else around them going and flowing that they do not consider their own salary for the work that they do. And so that is one thing, that's one bit of financial management information that you got from us today. As a business owner, do not forget to ensure that you are a part of the payroll.
Mm.
And the next one would be marketing / networking.
Mm.
Now, Ms. Deborah mentioned the Toastmasters program, and it is absolutely wonderful for learning how to present yourself and how to pull your thoughts together to make presentations and also to be able to speak to crowds and all sorts of things. But you know what it's also good for? Marketing and networking. That is
Yes.
an important thing that entrepreneurs and persons with skills have to learn how to do. And so they may be the perfect guide when it comes to that type of thing because they are literally marketing themselves. Anyone that works for someone else's company, they can come and go as they please. But when you are that business owner, it's sink or swim. And
Mm.
so you have to master putting your business out there, getting your name out there in a positive way, combating any negativity that may be associated with your name, and making sure that customer service is always on point and always at a high peak to ensure that your marketing is going in the direction and your name, your brand is associated in a way that is positive, that is renowned, and that is respectable. And so that increases your ability when it comes to networking also, because your name is called in rooms that you haven't even entered yet. You're going to have persons that are saying, "Hey, I'm looking for a great carpenter. Oh, I know this guy. He did some work for me. You can call him up. Here's his number." Women, you know, this is what we do when it comes to that hair braider. We know somebody that can really stitch you up and get you together. What are we going to do? "Hey, I like your hair. I like your nails. Oh, this is my nail tech's number. This is my hairdresser's number."
Right.
This is a part of that marketing and networking. And for you to be successful at it, one of the best persons that you can talk to is an entrepreneur or a skilled person, a person of expertise. So, another thing that you're going to learn from them is project management.
That's good.
Now, under project management, there comes two very, very important things: delegation and leadership skills. In order for you to have any project run successfully, you're going to have to learn how to do these two things. And entrepreneurs and salesmen are masters at it. They've had to learn how to get it done by delegating.
All right.
You're going to have to hire people that work along with you, that you trust, that know what they're doing, that you don't have to stand and micromanage, and that are going to do what's needed, whether you are there or not. So that means they are people that function with integrity. And those leadership skills that are needed are going to be the ability to have those tough conversations. You're going to have a guy that you're working with, and they're going to want to slack off, or they're going to want to take those extended lunches, or, there's always, you can count it by the clock, because every second Wednesday they can't come to work because they're sick. There are these people that you're going to come across, you're going to come in contact with, and it's going to take exceptional leadership skills in order to be able to handle these types of people and these types of environment. And you're going to have to learn how to establish your authority without being that mean guy on the job,
All right.
without breaking people's spirits, without, when someone wakes up in the morning, they're saying to themselves, oh my goodness, I've got to go back to this place again. That's not the environment that you want to create. But you want to make sure that you are creating an environment of harmony and of efficiency. And leadership skills, building on those leadership skills, even if you are not an entrepreneur yet and you know that that's where your mindset is and that's where you want to go, it's going to be important to talk to those people that are already in place so that they can help you along the way in these areas. You can't do everything alone, so you're going to have to delegate. And the people that you're giving these responsibilities to, you're going to have to lead. And so that was financial management, marketing and networking, project management, which requires delegation and leadership skills.
It's good, 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 good. If you just joined us, our topic today is learn from others. So these are people we are talking about that can provide resources. Um, thank you for tuning in, Darren, and I see Cynthia Ferguson out there. We are Our next group of people that we're going to talk about is clergy and parents. Clergy and parents, and if you have some people that you think of that we're not covering, put it in the chat of different people that can work with others to provide resources that they can learn from. So, of course, with our clergy, they can help in different areas. Of course, they can help someone with their spiritual life, to help them to understand, to grow. If they're suffering from church hurt or something of that nature, that they can talk them through that, help them with that. Um, Anything specific, and they can discuss it. If you have like a larger church, or depending on the size of your church, you have different pastors within that church. So you may have a youth pastor, you may have a pastor that's over marriage and marriage counseling, um, another pastor that's has some other expertise. So you have, depending on what you need, there's someone that's there at that church that will take the time to listen to where you are, where you're trying to get. Of course, they're going to give you scriptures and tell you what it says in the Word of God. So you're not just trying to do things based on what man says, but on what God says, what you hear from Him. and then you can work it from there. But they are can be a great resource to assist you. And normally, if you've been there a while, it's your family has been in that particular church or congregation for a while, you know that there's someone that you can trust. If it's someone that's going to be confidential, if it's something real delicate that you need to find out more information on. And so that might make you feel, a bit comfortable. Of course, they also, and I didn't mention this one, grief counselors there, which can be really, really beneficial because, we have a lot of mental health that goes on, especially now with our young people. And, a lot of things go on in the world and everything is not, bright and rosy. So let's just say you had a close friend and something happened to that friend, they were killed, something happened, like we have these school shootings or drive-bys, all these different things, and you're not saying anything, but it is really taking a toll on you because you were close to that person. You didn't understand, why that happened to them or whatever. So then that grief counselor can work with you, talk with you. And then if they find that, it's beyond what they can help you with, then they will direct you to see maybe a therapist or a counselor, someone that can help you. But you can gain a lot of information, get a lot of help from your clergy. Now, this last group of people I'm going to talk about, most of our young people like, who talk my parent? What my parents going to tell me? They don't know anything. They look. Your parents do know a lot more than you think. You may think, well, they only had a high school education. I went to college. I got my master's. I got my doctorate. They can't tell me anything. That is so far from the truth. Your parents have gone through a lot. It doesn't matter. Remember when I started out, your IQ doesn't come into play. Your disabilities, your abilities, you can learn from everybody. And a lot of times we turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to our parents, but they have so much wisdom. They've gone through so many life trials that they can really, really help you more than you know. And of course, your parents, they should start with that spiritual background, teaching you what the Word of God says, what's right, what's wrong. Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way that they should go, and they won't depart from it. You will see kids raised up in church and they go off and do this and this and this. But if you look around and you're patient and you pray, you'll see them come back because they were trained up and they know right from wrong. It was just a moment. So, but our parents are good for that. Your parents are good for teaching you that, hey, you got to love yourself. You're special. God made you special. You can do anything that you want to do. Those are parents that should be feeding you with that information. You're like, I never thought about it that way. But you are learning something because there are so many people in the world, they don't have confidence. They don't love themselves. There's nobody encouraging them. But if you have that parent that when you get ready to walk out that door, I want you to know I love you. Have a great day. If you feel overwhelmed, just take a moment, take a breath, say a quick prayer, and you can get it done. They are teaching you. They're giving you wisdom. They are encouraging you, and they are helping you. They help you be self-disciplined. When you're young, they do everything for you. And it's just like when that baby comes home from the hospital, you got to change them. You got to give them that bottle. But as they get older, they try to take those steps. They learn how to walk. They don't want you to help them. They're going to do it on their own. Well, parents, they want you to do on your own. So when they teach you things or they tell you to do things in a certain way, it's like, wow, they always pounding me. They're not hounding you. They're teaching you to be self-sufficient and self-disciplined. Because as you get older, you want to be able to do those things that you should on your own, that you don't need somebody telling you when to get up. You don't need someone telling you when to pick your clothes up off the floor. You don't need somebody to tell you, hey, that jacket dirty if you don't throw that thing in the washer. You should know. You should know when you go out, what is it that you're supposed to do after school? If it's not stopping along the way, stop along the way. They teach you manners, etiquette. Those are life principles, basic principles. I say basic principles live on and on and on. Things in the world change. We have fads, seasons, hairstyles change, clothing's change, the way we talk, slang, even slang words. But basic principles never die. You should always know how to respect others. Young men should always know how to treat young ladies. You should always have great manners, be polite to others, respect others. Those things don't change. You get your early education from your parents. They're the ones that most time are learning you how to count from 1 to 10, 1 to 20, your ABCs. They're teaching you step by step. They're teaching you. How patient are your parents when you're trying to color and you get that crayon and you all out the line, cross the page on the furniture, on the walls, but they roll you back in and just see the little lines. You got the color inside the lines. But they are grooming you, helping you, teaching you. You are learning from your parents, whether you realize it or not. And then they are the ones that nurture you into building that confidence within yourself. And that is a great tool, a thing to have, is that self-confidence. There's so many people that no one has taken the time to tell them what they can do, that they are doing a good job. Um, People, live at home and they'll leave and they may be in their 20s or 30s and they get to a counselor and, what is the problem? My parents never told me that they were proud of me for anything I did. I, played sports because I wanted my dad to be proud. I did this because I wanted my mom to be proud, but they never said they were proud of me. And so when you hear that, that is a part of someone teaching you how to live and building up your confidence. And confidence is so important. So next time somebody says your parents can teach you, don't do the look. Don't do the look. Because parents can teach you a lot. And I'll have to say this because it made me really feel really good. But I was I think it was this month, or either last month, I was talking about educators, and I was in August. And I was talking about educators. So I had asked some people to send me who their favorite educators were and why. And I didn't get as many as I thought. And so one of my sons was here and he happened to be in the room while I was talking. And I was like, so who was your most favorite educator? And he looked at me and he gave me this look and he said, my parents. I was like, oh, wow. That made me feel really, really good. So you see, parents do teach. And he's not a little teeny bopper either. He's a very mature young man. Uh, so we do a little bit, right, Anastasia?
Yeah, we do a little bit and we do a lot. As you were speaking, I was thinking about the movie I Am Sam. I believe that's the title of it. And it is the story with a father who has Down syndrome or mental retardation, but he had a daughter that he was raising on his own. And she was about 6 or 7, and she had already outgrown his level of maturity. And so there's this whole thing about him being able to take care of her. And even though he had reached his limit as far as what a neurotypical person would say is needed for adulthood, he didn't reach there. He reached at about 7 or 8. That was his limit. He made it there, and that's fine. And but he loved her so much that he did what was necessary so that he can acquire the skills to be able to take care of her. And that is one of the roles of a parent, no matter who you are across any role, any spectrum. As a parent, as soon as that child comes out, you are going to figure out how you are going to acquire the skills and the resources needed to take care of this little person that is in your care, and make sure that everything is always right with them, no matter what. You are going to figure it out, do whatever is necessary, get it all done. And there is lots and lots and lots to learn from parents. Now, my leaving tips would be one, make sure that you like and share this video. Absolutely. Make sure that you like and share this. I am sure that you know someone that wants to be a teacher. You know someone that wants to be an entrepreneur. You know someone that needs a coach or needs a mentor. You know someone who needs to have a new outlook on the role that their parents play for them. There's a lot of different persons that this one video can help. And so make sure that you like it, make sure that you share it, make sure that it is spread all across your social media pages. And then for all of the areas of life, all of the persons, our community helpers, if we go back to grade school, all of the community helpers that we mentioned, and like Miss Deborah said, there are many, many more that we didn't get to name. If you can think of more that we should probably talk about, you can put it in the chat. But each of them needed creativity and adaptability to be able to do what they're doing. And in whichever way you want to take that, whichever way you want to run with it, you can go ahead. But there is no person that is in a position to teach and share knowledge that doesn't have to have the skill of creativity and adaptability.
Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Anastasia. I enjoyed these real talks. And I was so disappointed that nobody put in the comments, but that's okay. I think we did cover like my 8 different categories with a lot of skills that can assist others. And so I hope that we got the message across that, no matter who you are, where you are in life, you can always learn something from someone else. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please join me on Saturday morning for Saturday Morning Reel. That is at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my topic for this Saturday is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. It's so funny. But I'll tell you on Saturday. Oh, but I learned something really, really big today that I was like, oh, really? And it was just turning on the TV and the station that it was on. So, but a lot of times we do go through life and we don't know what we don't know until we find that out. So it should be interesting conversation. So I look forward to seeing some of you on Saturday. Remember that we are declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over all your lives, because God wants you to have prosperity, not disaster, not all those other detrimental things. He wants you to have prosperity in the future that you hope for. So please make sure that you design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has for you. You put in the work and build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. Please check out my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. Don't forget that a blog comes out each Monday at 10 a.m. So check those out. But be blessed. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll be looking for you on Saturday morning. Bye-bye, Anastasia.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.